And the fight for racial and social justice. Visit MLB.com/social justice to learn more. Eric Hosmer will lead off the Padres' sixth. Sean Manaea done after 5 innings and 64 pitches. Just 4 hits allowed, and he fanned 5, including Tatis a couple of times. And he gives way to Yusmeiro Petit, who has been outstanding this season. Having one of the best years, in fact, probably the best year of his career so far.
Yeah, going to come after you with the fastball, a little cutter, changeup, curveball as well. Just moves the ball all over the plate.
And that change got the velocity right around 88, 89 for the fastball. Mixing the cutter as well, as you talked about, EK, the changeup for. Hasn't allowed a run in his last 7 outings. He's behind in the count to Hosmer, though, 3-1. Ola and Myers to bat in this inning.
Well, Petit just one of a number of guys that provide so many different looks coming out of that A's bullpen.
Hosmer showing a bunt that time on 3-1. Just missed it, 3-2. We've seen the Padres bust out the bunts a couple of times, not only today, but yesterday, too.
Yeah, you see Show's bunt right there, and he's doing it because of the shift. All he has to do is get that thing down, and unable to do so. Padres just need to get something going.
Hosmer will swing away on 3-2, send it to right, but Piscotty battling the sun is there on the track. .400 to straightaway center, .388 to the alleys at the Coliseum. Down for Austin Nola. His numbers, the 5 home runs and 19 driven in, all coming with the Mariners. Going back to his run with Seattle, 13 consecutive games on base. It's a really good pickup for A.J. Preller, as Ken Rosenthal talked about earlier. The older brother of Aaron Nola of the Phillies, who's having a great 2020. Phillies now starting to turn things up. They've won their last 5 games coming into action today, and they've overtaken the Marlins for second place in the NL East.
Hey, I think as it stands right now, that would be the first round matchup. Padres and the Phillies. Jeez, that's a heck of a. Everybody thinks that, the Padres, you get all these guys and they're all set and they're ready to compete with the Dodgers. The Philly ball club, you mentioned they've been playing well. They've got a starting staff. You run Nola and Wheeler out there. Eflin's been throwing better. They've got some guys to solidify that bullpen. They're swinging the bats. Hoskins has come alive. Harper's having an MVP-type year. Realmuto, that is a team that don't sleep on the Phillies.
3-1 to Nola, and he sends it in the air towards right center field. Laureano at the track, and he can't get it off the big wall. Nola will take the turn, but stay at second. He's got a 1-out double here in the 6th.
Nola does a nice job of staying on this thing. It leaks back over the middle part of the plate. Drives this thing to deep right center.
Laureano came really close to that, in fact. And one of the rangiest center fielders in baseball. It feels like if Laureano can't get it, there's not a whole lot of guys that can. Here's Myers, 0 for 2. I mentioned the bunting. Myers had a bunt yesterday that kind of got things going. He led off that 5th inning for the Padres with a bunt single, and that sparked the San Diego offense. They scored 4 in that frame en route to their opening game victory in this series. On the ground towards short, picked up by Machine. Get the out first after looking Nola back to the bag at second, 2 down.
Hey, you talk about Myers dropping that bunt down, and that was right after, as you mentioned earlier, made a great defensive play. And really, he started that inning. They went on to score 4 runs. They hadn't touched Luzardo. Today, having a tough time out in right field.
He's got an error in this game. Came in that second inning. Nola at second with 2 down for Cronenworth. He had a nice defensive play yesterday. A dive at second base. You're right, though, EK. Again, if it were to start today, the Padres would be the 4 seed in the National League. The Phillies would be the 5.
How about that first round matchup?
Go be a lot of fun, huh?
Then you gotta, you make all these trades. You think you make these trades and you boost your club not only for the future, but you've got a real shot for the World Series. And look, the reality is in the National League, you got to go through the Dodgers. That's just they are so darn deep. And still, what separates them, even after the Padres make these moves, the separation is somebody can go down on the Dodgers, meaning they can withstand it. And it doesn't matter who that player is.
Right.
The Padres, Tatis goes down, you're done. Not happening. Lamet goes down, you're done. Not happening. And that's the difference between all of the clubs in the National League and the Dodgers. But head-to-head and everybody healthy in a 3-game series, it's anybody.
Absolutely. Padres have already played 7 games against the Dodgers, dropped 2 of 3 at home the first time, and then split a series at Dodger Stadium, split a 4-game set with the Dodgers. They've got 3 coming up against LA, their final 3, starting next Monday. Cronenworth goes down swinging, a man left stranded by Petit. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Matt Strom continues to work for the Padres out of the pen. Robbie Grossman will turn around to bat right-handed here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. A's leading by 3. Piscotty and Machine to follow Robbie Grossman. Giving you a sense of the Padres and their playoff picture. On the other side for the Athletics, they're currently sitting as the division leader in the American League West. They would get the 7 seed as an opponent. Right now, that would be Toronto or New York, depending on the tiebreak. Yankees or the Blue Jays. So that would be a fascinating series regardless. And that's what you were talking about, EK. Any of these series that we get in the first round are going to have so much intrigue to it.
Well, you talk about just the fact that it's a 3-game series, right? It's not the one and done. It's a 3-game series. And quite frankly, more than likely, you haven't faced that team all year long.
Right.
You have no idea. That's what, like, for me, that's what's going to make it so intriguing. You may be sweet within your schedule, but how does that rack up against the rest of the teams?
Going to his left. He'll retire Robbie Grossman to start off the 6th inning. Want to clap or cheer for your favorite team even when you're not at the park? You can with MLB's Cheer at the Ballpark. Visit MLB.com/cheer for a full list of cheerable games. Let your team hear your excitement from home. Watching broadcasts around the league, all those fans, always fun to watch them from their homes. One down for Stephen Piscotty. Let's get a little bit more of the postseason from Kenny.
Well, we're talking about the first round, guys. And one question right now is where the first round will take place. Will it be in home parks or will baseball go right to a bubble? Now, what they've been discussing is the National League playoffs taking place in Texas and the American League playoffs taking place in Southern California, and the World Series would be at the Rangers' new ballpark in Arlington. Now, none of this is final, none of this is official, but one thing that could happen, we could see the contenders who are playing at home in the final week locked down, staying in hotels to prepare for entering the bubble, and that could affect baseball's decision on how to go about the first round. So all of this is still to be decided, but it looks like a lot of neutral sites in the postseason this year.
Fascinating to think what it would be like at Globe Life Field and maybe Dodger Stadium to see American League teams go at it. At Chavez Ravine, brand new ballpark in Arlington, maybe Houston in the mix as well, maybe the Angels Stadium. It's going to be very intriguing the next couple of weeks to see if there's any development. 3-1 to Piscotty. Here's a strike.
I think you almost have to do that, though, right? You can't run into a situation where, that we just had this week, right? The A's, have somebody in their group test positive and they're shut down. Seattle misses games.
Piscotty will take first base on a 1-out walk.
I mean, there's so many variables. Just when you think you patch up one, something else opens up over here. But I do believe that the bubble thing has to happen. That has to happen. That really can't be up for negotiation. As Kenny mentioned, so what do you do for the week prior to the bubble? Do you send everybody to a hotel? Do you try and quarantine there?
I mean, if you're a team that is locked up your spot, whether let's say you're the Dodgers, let's say you're the 1 seed going forward, nobody's going to catch you. You just say, all right, well, let's get some of the taxi squad guys, let them play the final couple games, and let's get the majority of our core of the roster to quarantine, essentially, or self-isolate, I guess the better term for it, just to make sure that they're ready to go come playoff time.
Okay, so here's the other thing, too. So does winning matter? I mean, as far as you're not getting home field, right? That's irrelevant, right? So then do you say, look, I'm the health of my guys is more important than winning games because, now maybe the matchup, you may favor one matchup over another depending on where you finish in the team, but that enters into the equation too. Health versus wins.
Sure. 1-2 to Machine is off the glove of the catcher Nola. Piscotty hustling into second, and he will hold up there. See how that scored. Fast balls have been an issue for the Padres catchers, including Nola last night.
He's looking for something down, and this thing almost looks like he hit the umpires. Sure, top of his mask as well. Yeah. Well, you mentioned Nola was not supposed to catch today. Originally, he caught last night and coming back today. Probably not feeling really fresh.
Got 9 pass balls against San Diego catchers this year. It's the most in the big leagues. Back-to-back nights for Nola. 2-2, and Machine takes it the other way. Good play at third by Machado. Two-time Gold Glover with the Baltimore Orioles over there still manning the corner. Platinum glove in 2013 as well. We'll bring up the 9-hitter Jonah Heim, who's 1 for 2 today at his first big league RBI. Back in the second. 2 in the first, 2 in the second for the A's, 1 in the third for the Padres. Chris Paddock went 4 2/3 for San Diego. Sean Manaea went 5 for Oakland. Heim looks at a strike.
The A's in a tough stretch of their schedule, 3 with the Padres and then 5 with those Astros. The Astros only 3 games back in the loss column. Again, though, this year, loss column doesn't matter, right? You got to go to winning percentage. Not everybody's going to play the same amount of games.
Exactly. It's only the 4th game for the A's since that doubleheader last week. They'll have 5 against the Astros this week, including 1 doubleheader, then 4 against the Rangers with 1 doubleheader, and then a quick doubleheader on the 14th, that Monday, with both teams having an off day scheduled in. Both teams will make up the doubleheader. Into center field, that's down for a base hit. Here comes the throw from a good center fielder in Grisham, with the throw a little short. Piscotty scores, and the A's extend the advantage back to 4. It's 5-1. Heim, 2 RBI day, the first 2 of his big league career.
Right, getting an opportunity, getting a hit from the right side and the left side. This ball sails a bit on Grisham. This run goes back to that pass ball on Nola. Allowed Scotty to get down to second base. In the scoring position. Padres they're not crisp today. Just not sharp. Yeah, bat's not great. A little lax in the field.
Now Luis Patino, the right-hander, will check in. Strom's coming out. That's why Fox Sports has teamed up with Good Sports to restore play for kids and the community organizations that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. You can help keep kids in the game by donating to Restore Play. Visit goodsports.org to learn more. 20 years of age, Luis Patino on for the ninth time, facing Ramon Laureano. With all the prospects that were traded around, Patino at just age 20, he won't turn 21 until late October, is still on this Padres roster. Get a little more from Ken Rosenthal.
You said it, Adam. Patino, one of the top prospects in the Padres organization, and one of the four that they would not trade. Luis Campusano, who was supposed to start at catcher today, was another one. The infielder C.J. Abrams and the pitcher Mackenzie Gore. Cleveland couldn't get any of those guys. Oops.
Laureano going way back, and he hammers a home run, a two-run shot off of Patino. His fifth of the year and a three-run frame for the Oakland A's to extend the lead to 6.
Patino likes that fastball. This pitch down in the zone. Laureano just golfs that thing. No doubter right there. Patino can get it up there too. 97, 98 miles an hour. Not the spot he went.
Yeah, I think Ken's reaction was the right one. Oops. Laureano takes advantage of that mistake with his fifth of the year. And now Tommy La Stella with a couple of hits and an RBI stands in.
A slider right there. Fastball, slider change. Again, going to come at you with hard stuff.
Stella pops it up. Nola behind the plates. A lot of room, but not enough. Two of those 3 runs here in the 6th inning charged to Strom. Padre bullpen, which had been outstanding during this road trip. Giving up a little bit here in the 6th inning. Estella pops it up. Tatis is there, and that'll do it for the A's. But the shot from Laureano off of Patino extends the advantage. To the 7th we go. the seventh inning. The A's have a 6-run advantage now. Diekman, another piece in this excellent Athletics bullpen, takes over with the bottom of the order due up for the Padres.
Going to get a ton of sliders from him, almost 50%. Fastball, slider, a little bit of a change. It just bears that thing down on right-handed hitters. That's the thing, though. The A's have so many different looks coming out of that bullpen. I mean, we saw Petit, a right-handed guy coming out of the bullpen, getting it up there at 88, 89, right? You just, it's very odd. You see Diekman, left side, power guy that gets in on righties.
Fastball again. It's a different look from Soria compared to Wendelken, compared to Trevino, compared to Hendricks. I mean, everybody's got something different to add. It's been one of the key reasons the Athletics bullpen has been what it is this season. Reaching out for that fastball out of the zone. Chased by Mateo for a strikeout.
Well, just really, overmatched in this situation. Again, Padre hitters going out of the zone again. So often today, a lot of swinging strike threes. The pitches aren't over the plate.
Count 7 strikeouts today for Oakland pitchers against this Padres lineup. All of them swinging strikeouts.
And I believe 5, maybe 6 of them, pitches aren't strikes.
Yeah, out of the zone. There's a big cut from Profar at 97. Just been funny, and again, this is one game out of a 3-game series. It's one game out of 60 for both of these teams. But just the mirror image that you might see with these two teams at their best, maybe not exactly at this moment with the A's coming in, but they've scored 7 runs today. These are two teams that really focus on grinding out at bats, getting on base, ton of home run power, again, at its best. These are lineups that have a lot of home run power. It's just fun to watch the machinations on a day-to-day basis. 1-2. Chase that one. A little out of character for the Padres offense right now, chasing a couple, but Diekman looking sharp with a couple of Ks.
So that's the thing. We talked about the Padres and their ability to control the strike zone and control home plate. And they haven't been able to do that offensively. They've gone out of the zone. They've offered it pitches that aren't strikes, but you got to credit the A's pitchers. I mean, Minaya did a great job today. And if that's something that, he continues to build on, you look at where the A's possibly weak, where they vulnerable, right? It's just starting pitching, right? But if you can get 4, 5, 6 innings out of those guys, you turn it over to the bullpen, you're in business.
Well, let's look at StatCast powered by Google Cloud. These are the Minaya Ks today, 5 of them through 5 innings.
Yeah, and I'm looking at one of those, maybe a strike. The first base side. But that's the thing.
We're on one of those too,
right?
Sean Minaya.
So you wonder, as Kenny had mentioned, the 11 days off, is that why? Be interesting to monitor what he does his next start. Going to be in that Houston series.
Five games coming up against the Astros. Grisham goes the other way and punches it into left field. He's really starting to heat it up after his cold start this year. Got 5 hits in the first 2 games of this series.
He's doing it against left-handed pitching, too.
4 for his last 4 against lefties coming into this game. He had a bunt single against Minaya. And now the base hit against Diekman. So 6 for his last 6 against left-handed pitching. Here is Tatis. Smoking away first base lead. Correct, on 6 of last 7, I should say.
That's still good.
Still pretty good.
Still good.
Pretty good improvement for the lefty, Trent Grisham. Grisham had been the leadoff guy mainly for about a 2.5-week stretch. Was kind of dealing with a little bit of a slump, and then Tatis got moved back into the leadoff spot where he spent most of the first part of the year. Big cut, and it's 0-2 on Tatis, who has struck out twice and walked today.
Well, I think some of that had to do with the left-handed starters that the Padres have faced. They ran into Andrew Haney the other day with the Angels. And last night, Luzardo. Today, Minaya.
Tatis into center. Laureano is there. Diekman works around the single from Grisham, leaves him stranded. Stretch time in Oakland. More people rely on. And by Little Caesars. Get the lowest price pizza delivered, guaranteed. Six of the 7 athletics runs have come with 2 outs today, including the 2-run blast from Ramon Laureano off of Coutinho to greet him in the bottom of the 6th. Into the 7th, now 7-1 Oakland leads, and it's Chapman, Canna, and Olsen against Coutinho here. Chapman trying to get things going, 0 for 3 with 3 swinging strikeouts today. He's ahead 2-0.
Well, and you mentioned that the 2-out hits are A's 4 for 8 today with runners in scoring position.
Marked improvement from their overall catalog this year. Well, Bob Melvin told us today, right? He expects it to come around. And so far today, a major improvement compared to the last, or I guess I should say previous 7 games.
Well, and the thing that he said made him feel good is that they're winning games. Right? Winning games, they're not hitting, they're not clicking on defense yet.
Go goes down for a fourth time swinging today. One down in the seventh inning.
Right, and so here's the other thing you just mentioned. It's at the fourth time you said gone down, and they're winning 7-1. Right? And so, that's how you justify things. That's how you say, well, yeah, things are going to get better. Look at what we're doing without hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, it's a positive spin in the Athletics' direction. Let's get a little bit more from Ken Rosenthal.
Adam, it is a positive spin, but I actually think it's a fair spin. And when you look at them statistically, third best record in the majors, yes, they're winning games. But runs per game, they're 15th in the majors, right dead in the middle. Rotation ERA, 18th. So Semion's going to come back. Chapman has to be better than this. Olsen has to get hot. The key to this whole thing might be Frankie Montas, because you've got Luzardo, he's your dominant starter, but you need another one in the playoffs. That's where Montas comes in. He struggled his last three. If they get him straightened out with this bullpen and the offense reviving, then look out.
So, I'd agree with that. Look at where they are is they're 15th and 18th and all. They're still winning games, but look at who they're winning against, right? This is their sixth game of the year. Sixth game of the year against a club that's over 500. Only the Cubs have played fewer games against 500 or better teams, right? And that's the thing. It's just, that has to enter into the equation. And that's not taking anything away from what the A's have accomplished. You play the schedule you're given, you beat the teams you're supposed to beat. But that's, I go back to what's going to make it so interesting is we don't know how they match up against the Twins. We don't know how they match up against the White Sox or the Yankees or that.
Down for Olsen with one on. Ground and has the shift. Going to left field for a base hit. Olsen is aboard a 3-hit day for Matt Olsen. 2 on with only 1 out here in the 7th. Living right. Off the end of the bat. Shoots at the shift. And talked about it earlier. 3 walks last night. You say, they're walks, but that means you've seen a lot of pitches. He's tracking the ball. Hopefully for the A's, he gets going. Bring up Robbie Grossman, who's 0 for 3 today. Another guy who, as we talked about, has been fairly consistent all year, but is mired in a tough stretch for the time being. 6 for his last, now 33. Now, like a lot of the guys in this lineup, even when they're cold, when they get hits, they seem to be big hits. A lot of doubles, a lot of home runs. But again, not everybody on the same page offensively for Oakland. And it's going to be hard, like you said. The Astros are coming up. Left 4 against the Rangers, who've been struggling as of late. They've lost their last 3 as well. Yeah, how will it play out when you start getting it? That's a point that I don't think we've probably talked about enough, just in general across the country in baseball this year. And again, we're getting closer to playoff time, so it's going to be a discussion. But you're going to face teams that you haven't seen a pitch from all year come playoff time, right? And that's the whole thing. So, I don't know, maybe a guy's developed a new pitch, or maybe he's altered something, or, yeah, I've historically seen it, but I haven't seen him this year. Maybe a hitter has made adjustments. And you can't match yourself up against these other clubs based on this year because you haven't seen them. You haven't played against them. So I said this year is so fascinating, and I'm not necessarily sure that I would like to be participating. Meaning, if I was playing, but I'll tell you what, as a fan, I absolutely love this. I absolutely love everything about it. One and 2. Diving stab by Cronenworth from the glove. Tatis was able to pick it off the deck for the out at second. Couldn't turn the double play, but Jake Cronenworth has really shown off a range a couple of times already in this series and throughout the season.
Well, that was great. I mean, he knew he had no other way to get it to Tatis other than to roll it out of his glove. I mean, look at this. As you mentioned, you saw the play last night. Then Tatis just cruising over there and fielding it like a ground ball and looking to make the throw to first, but knowing that there's a runner at third. You fake that throw and you maybe catch the guy rounding third.
Moves over to third base. Grossman's at first after the fielder's choice. Runners at the corners for Piscotty. Finale of this series tomorrow, it'll be Mike Fiers going for the Athletics and Garrett Richards going for Padres. Richards trying to give him a little bit of length. He's been going very short in his last few outings. Hasn't gotten out of the fourth inning in each of his last three after he had a great start to his season. Into right field, a base hit for Piscotty. That was Ortega. On the third base goes Grossman. And it's 8-1 A's here in the seventh.
Another 2-out run for these Oakland A's. Another hit with runners in scoring position. Throw all that stuff out the window today. He shoots this ball to the right side, ground ball.
Spot and Machine. Back-to-back years for the A's in the American League wildcard game. Lost to the Rays last year and the Yankees the year prior. Rays right now have the best record in the American League at 27-12. They've done it through a ton of personnel shifting, different pitchers, a lot of stints on the IL.
Right, Charlie Morton just came back. He had been on the IL for a while. Glasnow, I think Snell throws today.
Left, long run for Profar, but he's got enough room to end the frame. Another run tacked on by the A's, who put together 8 today. storylines around the league and compete for cash every day with MLB Quick Pick. Restrictions apply. See rules and enter at MLB.com/quickpick. I mentioned him earlier. Joaquin Soria is on at sub-2 ERA for the 36-year-old from Mexico as he deals with Manny Machado here in the top of the 8th inning. Hit day for the Athletics offensively. They've put together an 8-run performance. Got a solid start for Sean Manaea, who is in line for a victory again. But end up going 3-0 in his last 4 starts after a tough stretch to begin his 2020 season. Petit in the 6th, Diekman in the 7th, and now Soria gets a strike on Machado to start off this 8th inning.
Hey, if I'm the A's right now, Matt Olson getting the base hits when they needed him, and Sean Manaea, the way he threw. I mean, those are the 2 takeaways right now. And I'm saying, all right, if I'm Billy Beane and I'm on my exercise bike in the clubhouse, I'm loving that right now.
So we get the low strike on Machado, and it's 2-2. Ken Rosenthal brought up the Moneyball era a couple of innings ago. I was thinking back, we saw yesterday, right? September the 4th of 2002 was the 18-year anniversary of that incredible comeback by the A's to get their 20th consecutive win during that kind of magical 2002 campaign. It was one of the highlights of the Moneyball era when Miguel Tejada and Barry Zito were at the helm of this Oakland team. Art Howe was the manager.
Tim Hudson, Mulder, Giambi, Eric Chavez.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Eric Chavez is man in the corner. Jack swing, and it's like Machado went around. According to first base umpire Nick Marley. One down here in the top half of the 8th inning. Big traditions, big rivalries. The Big 12 is back on Fox. You can start your Saturday strong at 10 a.m. Eastern with our game of the week as Louisiana Tech will take on Dave Aranda's Baylor Bears. The LSU defensive coordinator, fresh off a national title, takes over the Baylor program. That's coming your way on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Here's Hosmer. The difference between the bullpen ERA and the starter's ERA is almost 3 runs for the Oakland Athletics. It's the biggest difference in all of baseball. You could probably incorrectly claim that, as Kenny mentioned earlier, you've already talked about it, EK, the bullpen might be the biggest reason for the A's to be where they're at. Obviously, all those comeback wins, the resilience for the offense is impressive, but it doesn't stand up if you don't have arms in the back end to help out the starting staff.
Well, and we talked about it too, so many different looks coming out of that bullpen. I mean, depending upon the hitter, you got somebody to counteract them.
Soria paints it at the knees and on the outer edge. Eric Hosmer displeased with the call, and there are 2 down here in the 8th.
I mean, you can't do anything with that. That's 94 miles an hour running away, probably off the plate, but still a great pitch. Yeah, I don't miss that, not one bit.
There's Austin Nola, who doubled in his last trip. Swings away first pitch. Deep fly ball. Back at the wall. And over the fence. It's gone. Austin Nola with his first home run as a San Diego Padre. His 6th of the year. And the Padres with their first run since the 3rd frame. A couple of hits today, both for extra bases for Austin Nola.
Hey, hit that double in the same spot, Jeff. Not as high. This thing, man. You look at where that pitch is, too. It's middle in. So he drives that ball, lets it travel deep. State Farm is there.
Looks like we may have had an ejection. It may have been Eric Hosmer. We saw the frustration with that called strike 3 against him. And the previous at bat before Austin Nola just homered. Now the first-year manager Jace Tingler talking with home plate umpire Quinn Wolcott, perhaps about what just transpired. And seemingly Hosmer is out of this game. We'll confirm that in a moment. Again, this is something we do miss, not being in the park.
So that's the thing. You don't even know if somebody's yelling at you or anything because you can't see the mouth moving. Got the mask on. You can hear him, I guess, pretty well now.
The quirks of 2020 baseball. With 2 down, here is Myers. And 67, almost like an Ephus pitch there for Joaquin Soria that dropped a little high.
Yeah, and that's after that 94-mile-an-hour fastball in the corner to Hosmer. Jeez.
Felt like Zach Greinke up at the up on the mound.
Yeah.
That comes from the 3. It is confirmed, by the way, it was the home plate umpire Quinn Wolcott who ejected Eric Hosmer. You can imagine how that transpired. So the Padres will need a new first baseman. Let's see Mitch Moreland in the bottom half of the inning. Myers with a hard hit ball into the gap in left center. Bound all the way to the wall. Laureano's got a good arm. Will fire away, but it's a stand-up 2-bagger for Will Myers.
Ball just up in the zone. Myers stays back, drives that thing to left center.
What I love about the offense is ticking up the last few years. And listen, I miss the 8-inning, 9-inning start that you got consistently from your ace. But the one great thing about the offense is ticking up is no lead is safe. You're never out of a game, it feels like. And if you're going to give any team that tag, the Padres have to be towards the top of the list, you would think, with just how much offense they can generate in a short amount of time.
You're talking about a 6-run game with a runner on second. You mentioned, look at that right there. Yep. 15 comeback wins.
Another way these two teams kind of mirror each other, right? The late inning resilience.
Takes a strike. Well, it's like you said, the resilience and just the way they approach offense in their at-bats. It's a grind-out at-bat. Going to make the pitcher work, going to see some pitches. The pitcher makes a mistake, you're going to do damage, so sometimes guys have a tendency to nibble.
Cronenworth, a roller up the middle, and neither Listella nor Machine could get it. And the Padres will add another run. Myers comes in and scores. A little seeing-eye single past the infielders. The Padres with a crooked number here in the 8th.
Yeah, I think each middle infielder thought the other one was going to get it. They both kind of held up a little bit. Ball not hit that hard. Just gets under the glove. He may even lean off of it. You're sorry you're not too thrilled right now. You struck out the first 2 guys, feeling pretty good. And
through arguably the toughest guys you were scheduled to face in both Machado and Hosmer. Nola homered, Myers with a double, Cronenworth with that RBI single. And now here is Mateo, who's 0 for 3. And the bat. it earlier. Up the middle defense for Oakland needs to shore up. That's Estella now in the second base spot. Tony Kemp has played the most of any of the 5 starting second basemen this year for the Athletics. Obviously, Estella just joined the team. And Marcus Semien still dealing with that soreness on his left side. Saturday, he ended up being scratched for the second game of that doubleheader. Matt Chapman ended up starting at shortstop in that game. Machine has had the last 2 starts at short with Semien still out. So you're missing not only a very good shortstop who's improved his defense, Gold Glove finalist, but your main leadoff man.
Well, you gotta be careful with that type of injury because guys are gonna say that, oh yeah, I can come back and maybe you can play, but are you going to be favoring it? And it's not just swinging the bat, it's throwing the ball. And the main thing, you want to get into the playoffs, but you want to be healthy for the playoffs.
Right.
That is, you've got to be healthy. And we talked about it earlier. I mean, there is no home field advantage, right? So then you start saying, is there a specific team that we match up well against so, we want to finish in a certain spot? Or do you just say health overrides everything?
Zeo goes down swinging. The tag is applied. The Padres with a couple of runs. We are headed to the bottom of the 8th. Eight to 3 Athletics as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Number 9 hitter Jonah Heim is up, and we got to look at Trevor Rosenthal, who is in for the Padres. We mentioned we might see Mitch Moreland in for the now ejected Eric Hosmer. Indeed, that's the case. And here is Trevor Rosenthal, acquired last week from the Kansas City Royals. His Padres debut at Coors Field on Monday night with a scoreless 9th inning then. Very sharp for the Royals. 7 for 7 in save opportunities for Kansas City. Now gets a chance to come to a potential playoff team in San Diego. Ronan North will throw out high, 1 down to the 8th. And back to the top of the order for Ramon Laureano, who in his last trip in the 6th, jacked a 2-run shot. It's our drive of the game, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
Pitch, the low fastball. He was ready for it. Turn that thing around.
Laureano started his day 0 for 3. Rough day at the plate yesterday as well after the walk in the first inning, but third straight game he's been in the leadoff spot for, as you mentioned, the injured Marcus Semien. 13th game back for Laureano since the suspension after the fracas with Alex Cindron in the Houston Astros dugout. A good sign for him to get that 2-run shot back in the 6th. 100 from Rosenthal for the strikeout.
We talk about all the pickups that the Padres made, and obviously the Clevenger deal got the most notoriety and but the Rosenthal deal could turn out to be the most important. The bullpen expected to be an asset. Kirby Yates going down with an injury. You see 100.
Kirby Yates recently had that elbow surgery, so the results are very positive from that. So it's tonight for him. He was so good in the closer's role a year ago for the Padres. Added Dan Altavilla as well via trade this week, try to bolster the bullpen. Got Javi Guerra back there, who's another flamethrower going from the right side. We saw Luis Perdomo did have to go to the injured list. He's dealing with some right forearm inflammation, so he was just placed there. But as you mentioned, with all personnel shifting, guys to fill in those spots. 3 balls and a strike on Tommy La Stella. You will walk with 2 down. He's gone to watch up with 2 guys today. Well, this September, you can join Major League Baseball in the fight against childhood cancer, the leading cause of death by disease among children, both in the United States and in Canada. Visit MLBcommunity.org to learn more. I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Will Collette, who's been battling leukemia over the course of the last year. Big Florida Gator fan, big OKC Thunder fan, big baseball fan. He's going to ring the bell on Monday. And a shout out to our buddy Will and his family down in Gainesville, Florida. A 4 strikeout day for Matt Chapman, just the 3rd time in his career he's had a 4K game. First time this year. Got a pinch runner at first base in Tony Kemp. So he'll check in for La Stella and take over at second.
Right now, you're 2-0 count. You've been struggling. You got to try and zone something here. You're just trying to make some solid contact.
Fastball on 2-0 and fouls it back.
Good cut. But that's the way things go. When you're struggling, you miss that 2-0 fastball. When things are going right, you're driving that thing. Now he comes back and makes some crazy pitch. 99. All right, so now you have another opportunity. You're 3-1. You had the 4Ks. I think he's just going to unload here. Going to go after it. Is anywhere around the plate and swing.
Oh, wow. Fastball, outer edge.
At 99. I mean, that's just how it's going. Yeah. Oh.
The rare platinum sombrero for Matt Chapman today. 5 strikeouts. Rosenthal flamethrowing out of the bench. Tony Kemp, who bench ran for Tommy Listello, will stay in the game at second base for the Oakland Athletics as we head to the top half of the ninth inning. And with this strange week of layoffs, postponements, Bob Melvin told us he's going to get some guys in that typically wouldn't be in these spots, including the American League reliever of the month, Liam Hendricks, to face 8-9-1 Profar, Grisham, and then Tatis, just to get some work in after he's been down for a while.
Yeah, but he's coming right at you. Fastball, slider. If I'm hitting right now, I'm trying to gather information. Take some pitches, see something. Especially if I'm Tatis or Machado.
Right.
Just because I may see him tomorrow in a tight situation.
Hendricks pitching for the first time since August the 26th. Got a save in that game. 10 for 11 in save opportunities so far this year. I mentioned it, the reliever of the month for the first month plus of this season. Second time in his career he's had that honor, had that last June as well. 0-2. He got it. Missed for strike three. One away in the ninth.
It's ice cold, Bud Light. Sell to hip. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now. Hip. Just go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now. Hip. Just go to BudLight.com/delivery. BudLight.com/delivery. I'm ready.
8-3 A's lead it. One down here in the ninth, and Trent Grisham to the plate against Hendricks. Padres and A's will play the finale of this series tomorrow afternoon. Mentioned the A's dealing with the Astros a bunch this week. The Padres will start a 10-game homestand on Monday. 3 against Colorado, 4 against the Giants, and then 3 big ones, it feels like, against the Dodgers to maybe make a push to cut into that deficit in the NL West right now. Dodgers had another late surge last night to beat the Rockies in the opener of their series. The Astros in a doubleheader today against the Angels.
Yeah, the Padres have played the Dodgers well. You mentioned the record prior. In some of those games that they lost, they were right in it. That's why I said, these moves that the Padres have made, the reality is you make these moves so you can compete with LA. And that's any team in the National League.
Right.
That's where you got to go. And like I said, they stay healthy. With their starting pitching, the athleticism, their offense, there's no gimme.
Trent Grisham with a really strong series. Another 3-hit game. 3 last night, 3 more tonight. What slump? This guy is starting to come back to form.
See that leg kick? It just drives it up the middle. We talked about earlier, doing most of his damage against left-handed pitching.
Yep.
Here it comes in against one of the best closers in the game.
Get a chance to see Tatis one more time. El Nino. Just 21 years of age. Joe Madden of the Angels made an interesting comment the other day. Joe was around the same division as the Mariners. He was with the Angels back in the 90s, and he saw the early days of Alex Rodriguez and said there's a lot of that potential and ceiling, a very high ceiling in Tatis. A hard hit ball into the gap from Tatis into right center. Big turnaround second for Grisham. Will get into third. It's a double for Tatis. Only one down here in the ninth. Machado's coming up.
It's a fastball away, head down, and just drives that thing hard to right center. Now this is the danger of bringing in Hendricks. You want to get him some work, but now you let these Padre hitters see him, and you're letting the main guys see him, the top of the lineup. You know, they're gathering some information. They get to see the release point, how the ball is moving.
Machado's got an infield single and a base hit to right as well. Grounded out and struck out. Side on the fastball. 1-0 on Manny Machado.
Usually Hosmer is on deck following Machado, but he's not. He was arguing balls and strikes, and he got tossed.
Mitch Moreland might come up in a big spot.
Yep.
He'll definitely bat. Or I should say definitely. If he comes up, likely be a big opportunity for Moreland, who was just acquired from the Red Sox. Made his Padre debut on Monday. Machado swings away center field. Laureano having to block out the sun. It's a casket-style catch. Grisham will take off from third. Will keep the throw on the infield to prevent Tatis from advancing. Sacrifice fly for Machado. And it's 8-4 with 2 down here in the ninth.
Great job by Laureano to stick with it, battling the sun in that high sky. And you can have sunglasses on, but you can lose that ball. Or the sky.
Yep.
And you're just hoping it doesn't just flat out hit you. You hope it comes out soon enough that you pick it up. You have a chance to catch it. He did.
So here is Mitch Moreland. Lefty bat to add to this Padre lineup. 34 years of age. In fact, turn 35 tomorrow. Moreland. Texas Ranger, the Boston Red Sox, won a World Series, was an all-star there. Really good defender in his days with Texas, Gold Glover, veteran lefty bat. Almost feels like these guys play big roles when it does come down to postseason time. You imagine Moreland might end up in some big spots.
Well, they've got experience. You think of San Diego being a young ball club, but whether it's Hosmer, the postseason experience, or Moreland, or Machado, you have some guys that can guide the younger players, or Tatis. Even Grisham was in the postseason last year. You know, he dealt with a moment.
Absolutely. A wild card game against Washington. That tough play in center. 1-2 on Moreland. And he chases the high fastball. Hendricks finishes off the ninth inning, and the Athletics even up this series to snap the season-long 3-game skid to set up the rubber game on Sunday afternoon against these Padres. 8-4 the final today. Sean Manaea went 5. Solid. He picks up the win as he continues his good stretch over the last 4 starts. Athletics got major contributions from Matt Olson today with 3 hits, a home run from Laureano, a couple of base knocks from Tommy La Stella, and Jonah Heim with a couple of RBIs. The first 2 of his big league career. 8-4 the final. We'll wrap things up after this.